pause to lower the other phone you are using to listen.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
I want to contribute on Auntie Adoni.
You are
the
on,
information she's reeling out about Redeem.
You are on, ma.
Yes. The city of David was started by Pastor Esco Unfon when a Papa family was divided into 4. Pastor Idowu Iluyomade was the pastor in charge of King's Court Chapel in Olosa Street, Victoria Island.
Okay.
When Pastor Esco passed, Esco was the pastor in City of David. When he died,
he used to be assistant of Tony
when he passed on to glory, Pastor Idowu Iluyomade was moved to City of David. City of David did not have this building we are talking about, the Trinity Towers.
Yes.
They were in their old sanctuary. When Pastor Idowu Iluyomade moved to City of David, he got the congregation to pay for the land. Project 200 and something million, about 300 million, was the land where Trinity Towers was built. Iluyomade did that. I am a member of the church.
Wow.
The land was procured by Pastor Esco, but was not paid for. Pastor Iluyomade encouraged the church to pay for that land across to the Oniru family. And that is the land where Trinity Towers is standing now. Pastor Idowu Iluyomade built the Trinity Towers with the help and contribution of members of the church. And on the list of those who contributed towards the building of that Trinity Towers, Pastor Iluyomade and his wife are number 4 on that list of those who contributed to it.
Wow.
And that church was built to the glory of God and dedicated by Baba Adeboye when he came and landed his helicopter on the roof of the Trinity Towers. It is true that the church borrowed money from Access Bank because Wigwe was a member of the church. So it was favorable towards giving the church a loan. And the loan had terms and conditions to be paid back. And they were paying the money up to the time this saga happened last year. They were paying the money. And the reason why the church was actually built was what Pastor Shiju was talking about on that clip that you showed, even though you did not know the genesis of it.
Which of the
what she was saying was
I was supposed to bring that clip.
That clip where you said she was pointing to the picture.
Yes. Yes. Where she was pointing to the picture. Yes, ma. Go ahead.
Am I speaking to you yourself?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ma.
It's you I'm speaking to.
Yes, ma.
That video clip they show about 2 weeks ago, pé Aranta Shiju, ó náwó sí photo bí ẹni pé òun ló ní. It was her vision. The vision of the Trinity Towers were the vision of Pastor Ide and Pastor Shiju. And the reason why they had the vision of building a 14-story was because they do not want the people to get tired of contributing money for projects upon projects. That a day will come that the congregation would have a donor fatigue, that they will not be able to contribute anymore. So let us build something that the rent we collect from that building will be used for all the projects of the church. According to what the Anglican Communion did by building their CMS building in Broad Street. The building where Mobile is, they own it. That the rent they collect from there is what they will use for what the church needs. And that was the vision of Pastor Ide and Pastor Shiju for Trinity Towers.
Now I feel
that when we have a 14-story building. Hello?
I said, now I feel her pains. Go ahead, man. Now I understand. Go ahead.
That once they have that kind of a building, the rental income from that building, they will be using it for whatever the church needs. They will not come to the members of the church to come and donate money anymore. That was why we have a 14-story building, not because they wanted to do yanga. We building to Tobiju. You know? So, as at the time Pastor Ide was asked to step aside, they just got a new tenant that paid about 500 million as rent. All this rental income coming from tenants were being used to service the loan taken from Access Bank. The church itself, the members of the church itself, they donated more than 10 billion. So, I just needed to... Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, very well, ma. I don't want to interrupt you, ma. I am hearing you clearly.
Yeah, I just needed to clear all of this misinformation. Because whenever I go on your live chat and I hear some things, it's like I should... But unfortunately, I'm never there when you're doing live. I hear it after the fact. And there is no way to correct. The last one that you were doing that I'm listening to now, you were talking about a Sheni Dosumu to correct you. Sheni Dosumu is a pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. He lives in Maryland there with you.
Okay.
So he knows the history of Redeemed. In fact, he was there before me.
Which one did you correct me of, ma'am? Which one was I wrong in?
Pardon?
Moni, which one was I wrong about, ma'am?
You are wrong. You are wrong in saying that ESCO started to build Trinity Towers.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So
he was not the one that started it.
It was when Pastor Ide, it was Baba Adeboye that posted Pastor Ide from King's Court Chapel. We bought King's Court Chapel. Pastor Ide when he was in King's Court Chapel. After they all left Freedom
I remember King's Court now. Yes,
he was posted to start King's Court.
I remember King's Court now. He was
posted to start King's Court. King's Court started at Lagoon Restaurant even before City of David. It was King's Court that was using Lagoon Restaurant, and they now sent us out. And then we moved to Olosa Street in Victoria Island.
Thank you for shedding light, ma'am.
Shiju Iluyomade looked for that property on Olosa Street, in front of a hotel. It was a rundown bungalow that we refurbished, and we started our church, Pastor Ide and Pastor Shiju. And that was where we were. And they had this vision of exceeding greatness that was on that report that you were playing. And you said it was not his vision. It was his vision.
Which one did I say was not his vision? Okay, I said it was not Iluyomade's vision.
There was a documentary that was playing on your live.
Yes, ma'am.
About the history of their Papa family.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And then you said it was not his vision. It was his vision.
Okay, I thought the vision actually started from what's it called again? Rapu to, I thought the vision started from them. That was why I said. But now I keep saying I am not.
Let me explain.
Ma, I keep saying, hold on, ma. I keep saying I may not be completely right. I keep saying that.
Let me explain that vision.
Yes, ma'am. But thank you for clarifying. Now we know better.
Under Pastor Tony Rapu at Freedom Hall, were all of them, Pastor Ide, Pastor Tola, what is the name of the pastor in Pastor Gandhi, the KBC, all of them, Pastor Agu, Iruku, all of them, Ichwa, all of them. They were all under Pastor Tony in Freedom Hall.
Yes, I know about that.
Pastor Tony, I mean, you were part of Redeem, so you would know about that.
Yes,
Pastor Tony started the modern
Modia Parish.
Redeem And the Papa family and the model one, the Papa family started to open branches all over the world. Pastor, the present Oba of Ogbomoso, Gandhi, was sent to Germany. And so many others, Pastor Tola Baltimore and all of that. Initially, in the UK, it was Tony Rapu that went to start London. Atoyebi was in Victoria Parish in London. Pastor Tony was in Jesus House, London. Like you said, we do not know why Pastor Tony Rapu came back, whether he was asked to leave or he came back from London of his own accord, and Agu Iruku was sent to London. And when he came back, he left the regime to start his own, this present house.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So that was when a Papa family was broken into four. And then Pastor ID, who was an usher in Freedom Hall with his wife, was sent with, three of them were sent out. Spencer Onosode, the son of late Gamaliel Onosode, and Pastor Jide Koku, Spencer Onosode, and Idowu Iluyomade were sent out to start King's Court Parish in Victoria Island. And I started with them from day one of that parish at Lagoon Restaurant. When we left Lagoon, they sent us out of Lagoon. We were looking for where to go, worshiping in people's car parks, in people's offices, and all of that. Pastor Shiju now found this building on Olosa Street. It was an abandoned bank building, a bungalow.
It was an abandoned bank building. And we started so I was right about that. Okay, ma'am.
And the vision I'm talking about was what Pastor ID shared many times on many forums, that he had a dream and he was standing in front of Washington Memorial, but he did not see the head of that monument. He didn't see the head. He was just standing in front of it. And Pastor Tony Rapu was holding two scrolls. He was holding his scroll with one left hand and right hand. It was a short scroll. And then he saw himself holding one hand of his own scroll. And he did not see the end of that scroll. And that is why he believed that God gave him a vision of exceeding greatness. Because he did not see the end of his own scroll. And it was after that vision or the dream that he said he had that Pastor Tony left Redeem. And then from King's Court, we bought a land in the same Victoria Island, Kingston Street or Crescent, I don't remember now.
Yes, ma'am.
It is where the King's Court Chapel is built now. They have a 10-story church there. Pastor ID's vision, along with the members of the King's Court, bought that land. We bought that land. And our dream was to build the church there, our permanent site there. And the drawing was made. And on top of that building is the opening of a Bible. You will see a Bible that opens. That is the top of that church, King's Court. The church was now built by, what's the name of this pastor that left from City of David? When Pastor ID was sent to City of David, this pastor, Ben Akabueze was Escort Unfon's assistant in City of David. But when Escort died, Baba Adeboye brought Idowu from King's Court to City of David and took Ben Akabueze to King's Court. So Ben Akabueze fulfilled that vision of Idowu Iluyomade by building the King's Court, the 10-story building church, which is there now at Keystone Street in Victoria Island. So when Idowu Iluyomade got to the City of David, he now decided to build. The land that Pastor Escort bought was not paid for from the Oniru family. He encouraged the church to pay, and we paid that money for the land. And that was the land, that is that land that the Trinity Towers, the 14-story Trinity Towers is standing on right now.
Wow.
And that building was put up with the donations of members of the church. The people telling you that they were deducting money from their salary, 20,000, is a lie.
She showed me evidence.
They were not deducting money from. They were not deducting money from anybody. Pastor ID is a great. Nobody was deducting money from anybody's salary at source. 20,000 for where?
So, what is the contribution of workers?
Great motivator.
So workers are not paying.
Workers
are not contributing.
Yes,
ma'am.
Opportunity to my
Okay, ma'am.
Wow, your salary anybody. Pastor ID my boss on stage ni wípé a fẹ́ buy. I need to. It would encourage people to give. And by the time he's telling you, he will tell you on the pulpit himself how much he and his wife have put down towards that project. Every step of the way, he will tell you what they have put down. He will tell you, okay, now we want to build the altar. The altar is going to cost 50 million. No, we need people who want to adopt altar. Do you want to adopt altar? The escalator that you saw that was taking Baba upstairs, those escalator one cost 20 million.
One of it.
Should you paid for one of it, Mama? Yes. Should you paid for one of it from her pocket?
Wow.
Another member of the church paid for it. Of course, Wigwe is a member of the church and he helped the church, but he was not. In fact, when they bring out the list of the donors of the building, I'm sure it will not be on number 10 there. Many people gave money towards the building of the church. There was a time we even needed a generator in the old city of David that Escort built. That generator was 100 million. One man paid for that generator. Because Pastor will always come back. Pastor Idowu will come to tell us. It took us a long time before we knew who the man was. He just said one man. One man has paid for the generator. They want to build the altar. Altar is so and so. Anybody that God lays it upon your heart to come and adopt the altar, adopt altar. We want to do. The chairs that we are sitting on, those yellow chairs, initially they were 70,000. Pastor ID will tell you, if you cannot pay for anything, at least buy your own chair. Some families bought 400 chairs. Eventually, when Naira became rubbish, the chair became 150,000. People were buying chair in dozens. I am telling you the truth, as God is my witness. It is my church. I was there. At least I followed Pastor. I started King's Court Chapel with Pastor Idowu Iluyomade from day one at the Lagoon restaurant. I moved with him when they took him out from King's Court, from King's Court to City of David. I followed them. And the reason why I followed them is because they are good people, compassionate people. In the King's Court where we were, if anybody is sick in the church, the first question Pastor ID we ask the person, which visa do you have? And it obani British visa, one fly to London for medical treatment. And it obani American visa, one below America for medical. And it obani Korara non below South Africa tabi India. Pastor ID àti ti ọwọ́ bá ọ̀pọ̀ ààrẹ àti ìyàwó ẹ̀ wọ́n á ti rán olúwa ẹ̀ lọ́nà kan tó wá ṣànàùsímẹ́ǹt fún wa lórí pulpit pé ara èèyàn kan nù wa ò dá o ó ní ìdí owó fún treatment o ẹ jẹ́ ká dáwó o. Nǹkan tó ẹ̀ ń jẹ́ irú èmi tí wọ́n tí mo fi tẹ̀lé wọn lọ sí City of David nìyẹn. Nígbà tó ń gbé wọn kúrò ní King's Court tó ń gbé wọn lọ City of David ní òsì Nàìjíríà ìlú òyìnbó ni mo wà.
Okay, you've relocated,
man. I'm coming straight to the City of David. I'm following him. Why would I follow a pastor? I will follow a pastor that I believe in. I will follow a pastor that is compassionate. I will follow a pastor that is humane. Somebody was telling you on one of your chats, nígbà tí Pastor Idowu Iluyomade dé City of David, wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ school, nursery. It was nursery and daycare. The name of the school is what's the name of that school now? Maranti, ibẹ̀ ni granddaughter mi náà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ school. I will remember the name of the school. It was daycare and nursery. From daycare and nursery, Pastor ID built a primary school for them.
From his own money?
From primary school. He built a secondary school for them.
From his own money?
Riverbank. The Riverbank. From the church money. But his money is there too. That is what I like about him. Shame, you can come out for church money. Church money that is used. Money tí àwọn ará church ń dá. Tó fi ṣe nǹkan dáadáa, but owó títí ẹ̀ gan is about the highest in the contribution. The name of the school is the Riverbank School. To ibẹ̀ ni granddaughter mi náà lọ. Then àwọn tó ń sọ pé wọ́n máa kọ́ school, àwọn ará church wọn ò lè sanwó ibẹ̀. Gbogbo ará church tó lọ́mọ ní Riverbank School náà sanwó school on a discount.
Is it everybody that can have? Can you tell us how much is school?
Granddaughter mi lọ síbẹ̀.
How much is it, ma?
The Riverbank.
How much is their school fees?
Mi ò rántí school fees, but I want to let you understand something. Wípé kò cheap. Because school tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó gbé òyìnbó wá láti UK tó wá ń ṣe head of school to make the school of an international standard.
Okay.
School tó ní Olympic size swimming pool.
Wow.
School tó ní stadium.
Wow.
School tó ń lọ fún competition abroad tó ń gba medals wálé.
So it's not for everybody.
Ẹni pé teacher tó bá máa ṣiṣẹ́ ń bẹ̀. Owó tó máa gbà kì í ṣe owó kékeré.
That's right.
But gbogbo ẹni tó bá jẹ́ member school tó bá ní ọmọ níbẹ̀, wọ́n fún wọn ní discount because they are members of the church. Then lẹ́yìn yẹn wọ́n tún wá kọ́ hospital. Hospital yẹn Healing Stripes ni ìyẹn ló wà níwájú 4 Points by Sheraton. Ní hospital yẹn wà. Hospital yẹn lèmi gan lò mo register síbẹ̀. And every Wednesday, gbogbo obìnrin tó bá jẹ́ member church tó bá lọ sí hospital yẹn, ọ̀fẹ́ ni wọ́n treat wọn.
Every member of Redeem.
Lẹ́yìn yẹn wọ́n ṣubú.
Hello ma.
Every member tó bá jẹ́ bona fide member of the church.
Of City of David.
So they need medical. Wàá lọ síbẹ̀ fún medical ọ̀fẹ́. Then tí wọ́n sọ ṣé mo sọ wípé teacher school yẹn was a white woman.
Yes.
Nígbà tí pastor wa kún kú tíyàwó ẹ̀ jẹ́ ordinary teacher ń bẹ̀. Wọ́n rán obìnrin lọ sílùú òyìnbó kó lọ ṣe course to get more accreditation. Wọ́n dẹ̀ lé òyìnbó lọ, wọ́n sọ obìnrin yẹn di head teacher. Òun ló yìí wà ń bẹ̀ nísìn. Ṣẹ́rí, kò sí bí ọmọdé ṣe fẹ́ jẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ tí ò ní ra lọ́wọ́. Kò sẹ́ni tí ò ní fault. Ẹlẹ́ran ara ni gbogbo wa. Ṣùgbọ́n tí a bá dálẹ̀ tá a bá ń tún ṣàlẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Plus tí Ìdòwú Iluyomade àti Ṣíjú Iluyomade ní nínú Redeem kì í ṣe kékeré. Iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n gbé ṣe kì í ṣe kékeré. Wọ́n deserve nǹkan tó ṣe fún wọn. But whatever it is tó bá ṣe fún wọn, wọ́n ti ṣe, ó ti tán. But tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọn, ká máa sọ òtítọ́ ọ̀rọ̀.
Àpárọ̀ mọ́ wọn ma.
Ká máa sọ àhesọ.
Àpárọ̀ ma.
No. I'm not talking about you.
Oh,
I'm not talking about you as a person.
Oh, okay.
But you see the comments that come out every time you're talking about them, the narrative that is coming out is not palatable. Even when their matter is on social media, now they have their own church. Even the comments that are coming on social media, whenever the church functions are out, the comments are not palatable. But the onus is on people like us who know the truth to speak out. And that is why I took your number some time ago. I must store number here now. Let me call you. I was waiting to come to America and come and see you face to face.
And sit you down
and talk.
Okay, hello? To explain to me. See me face to face to tell me what is going on.
Yes, hello, I was saying that, when I get to Maryland, I'm going to call you and have an appointment with you, and we sit down and we talk woman to woman and tell you things that are going on. And thank God, somebody was telling you, have you seen Quincy's interview with Daddy Freeze?
Yeah.
Go and watch Quincy's interview with Daddy Freeze.
I only saw a
lot of people were saying they are disobedient. Wọ́n ní kán lọ Sébùté Mẹ́ta, wọ́n láwọn ò lọ. Àwọn ará bí lọ Sébùté Mẹ́ta for more than 4 months. Àwa tá ń tẹ̀lé wọn rí, wọn dá lọ. At any time, tó bá lọ Sébùté Mẹ́ta, wọ́n ní up to 20 people tó ń tẹ̀lé wọn lọ.
Of course, they will have their own people, no matter what. So,
no, unfortunately, bí ayé tí ẹ ṣe rí àwọn tẹ́ mú téèyàn expect kò jẹ́ their own people, àwọn kan bá wọn jẹ tán bá wọn mu tó di wàhálà ń sìn wọ́n kẹ́yìn sí wọn yọ sí wọn.
Life nìyẹn.
Anyway, that is
if you have listened to my own story too, that is life.
Here nor there. I am talking of people tó jẹ́ wípé jàǹbá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn, ìtọ́kọ ẹ̀ kú, ẹni tí ọmọ ẹ̀ kú tó need help, tó lè sanwó school, tó ń bá sanwó school àwọn ọmọ wọn, ètò ń sọ lápò ara wọn tó yàtọ̀ sí ètí school church ń san o. Pastor Idowu Iluyomade ní City of David ló start the program Touching Tomorrow. Touching Tomorrow yẹn mean wípé wọ́n máa sọ fún gbogbo wa ní church wípé adopt a child because there are people in church tó lè sanwó school. So tó bá tiẹ̀ lè lówó púpọ̀ tí ẹ̀ mú ọmọ kan tí wọ́n máa sanwó school ọmọ kan. Ẹni tó sick ó ṣe máa lọ fún treatment. Ẹni tí ó jẹ́ widow àbí tí wàhálà dé bá tí wọ́n lé wọn jáde ilé tí wọ́n ní wọ́n gbalé fún wọn. Arise program tí ṣíjú ń ṣe fáwọn women àwọn èèyàn tó empower. Iṣẹ́ wo ni wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe hairdresser ní kọ́ra hairdressing equipment fún ẹ. Ìwọ tó bá fẹ́ ṣòwò ní kọ́ra grinding machine fún ẹ tó máa lọ́ta kọ́ra freezer kọ́ra gbogbo ẹ̀ kọ́ra ṣọ́ọ̀pù fún wọn.
Hello ma.
Èmi yìí bá wọn báńkì. Yes ma.
Can I ask you some questions, 1 or 2 questions ma, that I'm still that I'm not too clear about. You said
please go ahead.
Okay, you said Idowu Iluyomade started City of David, right? So was about
It
was
built
transferred.
Trinity Towers. Esco Info started City of David. Building here is Trinity Towers.
Okay. It was the Trinity Towers that Iluyomade started.
That parish is City of David. It's the City of David parish. But the building is Trinity Towers.
Okay, so it was Iluyomade that started the Trinity Towers, right?
Building and the Trinity Towers.
That is what I'm saying. So Iluyomade started that Trinity Towers.
He built it. He paid for the land and he built it.
Okay.
With the church members.
Was
with the contribution of the church members.
Contribution or with
and
loan?
I'm telling you
there was no loan.
Church, pardon?
There was no loan to build the place.
Of course, they took loan. Only most of it.
Okay.
But they call it 17 billion. See, church it is that 10, Larry.
So,
they balloon 7 orí
17.
They sọ padà díẹ̀ because church ti ready nísìnyí ẹ ti gba tenant. So bówó ṣe ń wọlé from tenancy.
They are paying the loan.
Padà tán jẹ. Wọ́n ní agreement.
But as at this time, Wigwe was part of the church, right?
Wigwe was part of the church. Herbert was a member of City of David.
Was it true that Wigwe was paying the choir members salary monthly? We keep saying allegedly.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n tún ṣàlàyé bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ṣàlàyé yẹn fún yín.
English ma. Yes ma.
We have a regular choir. But Pastor ID, being the son of an Anglican priest, ó wá gba classical choir, àwọn tó máa ń kọ hymns ní cathedral.
They were employed.
Classical choir is not part of the regular church choir.
Okay.
But he brought them in. So for 3 months, he bought his salary, which was 30,000.
That information was right there.
What am I even saying? Was it even 30,000 or 10,000?
They said it was 30,000.
He paid it for.
It was 30,000 naira.
I can't. I cannot remember. He paid it for 3 months. And just like other members of the church too will pay. Just like other members of the church, no, to my raṣọ fún àwọn choir, to níjọ́ Thanksgiving, wọ́n máa wọ traditional Ankara. Èèyàn kan náà lè supply gbogbo Ankara tí gbogbo wọn máa wọ. That was the kind of church we had, where our pastor led by example.
So, were all the workers being paid salary too, or just those choir people that are being paid salary? The other workers
only the classical choir, and just for 3 months.
Only for 3 months.
Hello, ma.
Ma, only for 3 months.
Only for 3 months.
Okay, ma. So, the 3 months, nothing for one.
A church where the man was for like 18 years, 17, 18 years.
Yes,
outside if you are City of David. Sherry, and I'm glad you have been a member of City of Redeem. So you know what is happening to everything that we are all saying now.
That was what happened.
Is church
close
politics.
to what happened. Church politics. Thank you. So, Sherry, it is not about who started what or who started what that really matters in what we are saying. If you follow what we are saying here, but how politics are being played and how people are being used and dumped. So it's not. I might get some information of when people left, how they left, but the most important thing I'm saying here is how they use them. After they are done using them, they don't care for you when they are going to send you away. That is what I am saying in the video. And I kept saying I might get some information wrong.
I understand your own point of view, absolutely. But the general people out there need to know the truth. So, and unfortunately, Pastor ID and Pastor Shiju are not talking.
If
and
Pastor
when they talk,
ID and
they
Pastor
misconstrue what they say.
If Pastor
ló ṣe kíní kan, ṣówó ẹ̀ ló kọ́ ni kíní kan. Ó mọ personal owó náà tó wà ńbẹ̀ náà.
So, ibi tí mo fẹ́ lọ nìyẹn, that's where I'm going now.
For everybody.
Auntie, this is why one of the reasons why this kind of video is very relevant. For others, wọ́n lágbà tó jí sí kòtò, ó kọ́ àwọn tó kùn lọ yín lọ gbọ́n. Now, yes, my question is, why when Idowu Iluyomade and the wife know they were putting so much in the church, were they not thinking of tidying up some things, some papers? Because I was like, I had that confidence they cannot send them away. I did a video per that, saying, well, Tobe lati le won. Because I thought they would have done some paper. Did you watch that video?
Your live show, ṣebí ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tí bàbá sọ wípé àpapá family ṣe àbẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n lára díẹ̀ tí bàbá sọ.
Mo ń gbọ́ yín mà.
Ṣebí ẹgbọ́n.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣebí ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tí bàbá fúnra rẹ̀ sọ pàpàpá family tá la pàpà family. Idowu Iluyomade was the head of pàpàpá family.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni àwọn la pàpà family that they bought Rolls Royce for him.
Wọ́n ra Rolls Royce, wọ́n ra private jet.
And both schools.
Who is pàpàpá family?
Idowu Iluyomade. And the other parishes under him.
Just like what you went through. When you believe in somebody and you love somebody.
You said just like what I went through. But I thought redeemed members are laughing at me.
You will do everything within. You will do everything within your power for that person. Pastor ID was totally sold out.
Kai.
To Daddy Gio's dream and redeem. He was totally sold out. He practically forgot the fact that he was a lawyer. Because she's a lawyer mo. She's a church in a Kologbe.
Really? She stopped at his work. Where did he get the money you said they were putting in the church?
No, what I'm saying is that as a lawyer, maybe you expect him to be going to court and maybe our colleagues are not the senior advocate of Nigeria. But I tell you, court to
oh, wow.
Iṣẹ́ tó bá jí láàárọ̀ wà bá pásítọ̀ ní church a máa fi pásítọ̀ lẹ̀ church láago mẹ́kànlá alẹ́ ni ó yìí wà ní church tó ń ṣiṣẹ́. His law practice suffered. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ ló kíṣẹ́ mọ́lẹ̀ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣiṣẹ́ pé wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ suffer. And they are into different businesses tó ń ṣe. Each of them are lawyers, they have their law firm. And they have their businesses that
they do. Both of them are lawyers.
But, yes. But Pastor ID was totally sold out.
So where were they getting the millions to donate into the church? So where was it? No, when you were there, Holy Ghost Congress. I was still there. But shortly after, you must stop.
You are still there. It's the hospitality room. We are in Congress. Tatima entertain our foreign guests.
No.
At our dignitaries.
No, I don't go. I cannot be a worker.
Members to one in America. They told them was in Nigeria for Congress. One so for you be shiri. See, I want you buba debe woman lie no ni. She Iluyomade lo she.
I know Shiju was close to Mommy Gio very well.
Congress to do a wadawo. Gbogbo oúnjẹ tó ń jẹ ń bẹ̀ bí ẹni tó ń jù à nílùú òyìnbó ni. Gbogbo drink. Any kind of tea, any kind of drink from all over the world, you will find it in our hospitality room. The kind of furniture you will find there, Iluyomade did it.
Yes, I would know she was actively involved in programs in the camp. I know. And that was why I was surprised.
Our foreign guests, that 1 week, not to man jail, not to toilets.
Auntie.
Then, Koto, do we pay for me? Koto. Yes, ma.
That was why I was surprised when Daddy Joe started preaching against the makeup. Immediately, Iluyomade were asked to step down. And I said that message was directed to them. That this lady has been herself from the onset. She never hid who she was. You know, she loves makeup. That is how she's always been dresses and all that. Yeah, so I was surprised.
Ó ń ṣe above and beyond iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe. Ọ̀dọ̀ wa ní gbogbo àwọn government ń wá tán ti ń jókòó tán ti ń jẹun. Gbogbo àwọn first ladies ọ̀dọ̀ wa náà ti ń jẹun. Gbogbo àwọn èmi ní ìgbà tí Benny Hinn gan wá fún crusade tó wá lo camp. Àwa la ṣe hospitality fún lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Tìjú ló ṣe. Àwa obìnrin ta support yẹn. Gbogbo aṣọ tá a dẹ̀ ń wọ̀ gbogbo wọn ní camp ló rán aṣọ yẹn fún. Gbogbo àwọn gbogbo senior pastors títí kan mọ́mì everybody. Oúnjẹ tá à ń gbé wá camp lójoojúmọ́ ni wọ́n ń gbé fún àwọn àlejò mọ́mì ní ọ́fíìsì mọ́mì náà. Ìgbà tí bàbá Adébóyè sọ wípé Ọlọ́run fi hàn àwọn wípé one day the president of Nigeria will come and worship at the camp. Tí wọ́n lọ kọ́ presidential lounge. Presidential lodge tán kọ́ Síjú ló furnish ẹ̀ from head to toe.
With her money.
Àwa tá a ṣiṣẹ́ ń bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Is it with her money?
Ìgbà yẹn ni Ọbásanjọ́ wá dé síbẹ̀. Ilẹ̀ wí.
With her own money to furnish the place.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Collecting contribution from members or her own pocket.
No, they were announced. You know,
okay, they were announced from the camp.
You have project.
They were announced in their church
that we have a project.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to donate towards it.
They now use to go and furnish where president will come.
You know she will not do anything that is substandard.
Benny, she has class.
At the end of the day, personal owó tiẹ̀ ló máa pọ̀ lórí nǹkan tó máa ṣe because it will be above and beyond. Okay. Congress room yẹn nísìnyí hospitality room tá a fi sílẹ̀. Àìmọye furniture tó wà ńbẹ̀ tó jẹ́ personal furniture tiẹ̀ ni wọn ò mú nǹkan kan jáde ńbẹ̀ ó fi kọ́kọ́rọ́ ránṣẹ́ lọ sí màmá. Fún Mama Adeboye ni ó dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn for the opportunity to serve in that place for 27 years la fi ṣiṣẹ́ ń bẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mú anything tó jẹ́ personal thing tí ẹ̀ jáde ń bẹ̀.
But they cannot go into the can they still go?
Aunty Aduni, I'm not saying everything. I'm not saying everything they did was all their money. I
understand. You say people contribute. They were announced in the church. People will contribute to, and she will have their money too.
But pastor and his wife will tell you, we pay towards this project. Oye báyìí ni àwọn gan ti fi síbẹ̀ látàkù ara wọn. Ìyẹn ló máa encourage àwa náà láti dáwó. Pé ńgbà tí pastor ti sọ ilé àkọ́rá jẹ́ káwa náà ká support pastor because it's for a good cause.
Somebody said
dialysis center tó wà ní hospital wa Healing Strides. Wọ́n ṣe dialysis fún àwọn tó ní kidney problem ní ọ̀fẹ́ ni wọ́n ṣe dialysis fún wọn láì gba kọ́bọ̀.
So wọ́n kàn labour lásán bẹ̀ yẹn. Ládùúrú labour yẹn.
Pásítọ̀ máa sọ fún wa wípé adopt a patient pé dialysis treatment ẹ̀yọ kan bóyá cost 30,000. How many do you want to pay for? Individual à ń sanwó so that àwọn tí wọn ò ní kọ́bọ̀ wọ́n á wọnú hospital yẹn á ṣe dialysis fún wọn lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Cancer screening center ní Surulere the same ni.
Anybody can walk in. Hello ma. That place you mentioned, is it anybody that can go into the place? Anybody, or it has to be member alone?
It's anybody.
And they will get the help.
And you will see it, their dialysis. In fact, if by any chance you get a documentary of the CSR, that was why Baba Adeboye made Idowu the general assistant to the general overseer on corporate social responsibility. That was the CSR. Tí ẹ bá wo mọ nǹkan kan, màá mú ìwé mo ń bọ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà by next week. Màá mú ìwé CSR wá fún yín kẹ́ wo iṣẹ́ tí Idowu Iluyomade ṣe. The thing they did for that CSR.
Ẹ̀rọ wa létí kí ló ń jẹ́ CSR èmi ti gbàgbé àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan. What is CSR forgotten?
Wọ́n wá under study program wọn láti wo kí náà ṣe ṣe. Incubator tó wà ní Island Maternity lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ṣíjú ló rà lọ síbẹ̀. ìyẹn ò tiẹ̀ come under redeem arise ṣíjú ló gbé incubator lọ síbẹ̀ tó kọ́ hospital fún wọn ní àwọn villages ní àti classroom àti tó ṣe well fún wọn ní Abuja and the environs.
Now my question, ma, when they were doing all this, did they think the redeem belongs to them? Or what?
No, they did not think the redeem belonged to them. They believed that they were working for Baba and they were helping Baba to fulfill his dream. And they were fulfilled in what they were doing. They were doing good.
Somebody said, could it be that the way they were giving money to Gio and buying things for him could be one of the reasons? Probably Gio thought the money they are making is huge.
I don't know what happened. But all I can say is that Kosibito Tausi, a lot of Baba Furara won no be si pe Idowu Iluyomade ni Baba Kekere.
Nínú church Kosibito Tausi.
Kind of referring to it pé bóyá táwọn bá lọ ẹni tó máa succeed àwọn rẹ̀ so wọ́n ti ra ọ̀tá fún. Ọ̀tá yìí ò gan náà kà láàrin àwọn tó jọ ń ṣiṣẹ́ pastor yìí tí wọ́n fẹ́ kó kúrò ní exalted position. Ẹ̀yin ojú bàbá, ṣebí you know Pastor Fafora in America?
Mi ò mọ̀ wọ́n. No.
He has a program on YouTube, open pulpit.
Okay.
Ẹ lọ wo program ẹ lórí YouTube, open pulpit. He's a redeemed pastor, Fafora. Ẹ lọ wo. Ara nǹkan tóun náà sọ nìyẹn wípé ní ibi tí Ìdòwú àti Ṣíjú fi ara ṣiṣẹ́ sí ní Redeemed Christian Church of God. Pé tí wọ́n bá tiẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ kò yẹ kí punishment yẹn tó yìí. Ìgbà wo ni ẹni wọn lè lọ kì í ṣe tí wọ́n náà. Àwọn kan ṣe wọ́n kọ́kọ́ sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ ni pé church yẹn orúkọ wọn náà fi sí. Ṣé wọ́n dẹ̀ ti rí pé kò sórúkọ wọn sìn níbẹ̀ sìn.
Thank you, my sister.
Torí tó orúkọ wọn bá wà níbẹ̀ ṣé wọ́n lè lọ rà á? Wọ́n lè rà á náà.
Thank you for shedding more light. Thank you for shedding more light and probably correcting one or two impressions. You know, we are not part of them. It's whatever we see on social media. We just joke about and we move. We joke about it because I never knew a time is coming.
When the wahala started, I said, Pastor, you didn't got that sorrow. When the time is right, Oto Ajadi.
Wọ́n ní sọ̀rọ̀. No, àfi tí the likes of Odutola bá kí wọ́n láyà, he will not talk. I said the likes of
ṣẹ́rí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sáwọn Pastor Tọ́lá ọ̀tọ̀ tún ní tàwọn yẹn.
Kò yàtọ̀ síra wọn náà, they are almost the same thing.
Àwọn yẹn tí wọ́n yàtọ̀ òfin tó set àwọn up lọ́hùn ó yàtọ̀ sí tiwa ń bí. Àwọn fúnra wọn orúkọ wọn ni wọ́n fi gbà lónìí, wọ́n fi culture náà fi wẹ̀ pé nìkan so lè gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn. So they can take the church and make it their own. So it is different. And then again, what everybody is trying to look at is that they are doing so much. So very much. You cannot now tell them that you will take things away from them. According to what Pastor Tola said, you cannot now say that you are going to take you are not ready to take the liability of the church.
You have only supported what I have been saying. They are saying I am a worker. I am working for God. When you are not the owner of the church, you are only wasting your time and your resources. As long as that person, the day the person does not need you again, if they can do away with the like of Kilonje, Tony Rapu, do away with Itwa, do away with Odutola, do away with a lot of people. Àti Ẹ̀gbọ́kẹ́jẹ́ burú tiwa.
Tí ọ̀rọ̀ Itwa tún yàtọ̀, tí Itwa yàtọ̀.
It's part of it. Ṣebí tí Itwa fẹ́ marry, Itwa wanted to marry, náà ní kó kúrò.
Nǹkan tó fa tí Itwa ni wípé wọ́n wá àwọn ṣẹ́rí wọ́n máa ń sọ pé àwọn governing council àwọn arúgbó tó wà ní káàmpù yẹn àwọn yẹn gan-an ń dá gbogbo wàhálà lẹ̀ tó ń kó sí bàbá Adébóyè lọ́fun.
Okay.
Wọ́n ní doctrine redeem ni the doctrine is that ẹni tó bá divorce
must not marry again. Yes.
You will remain single for life.
Ayé àbá bàjẹ́.
So wọ́n wá lọ àwọn wá sọ wípé Itwa divorce ó wá remarry pé he can no longer be the parish pastor.
I remember I was part of it then.
Head of the church. And as at that time, Auntie Ajoni, he was not the only one tó fi yẹn mú. Òfin yẹn náà mú Professor Abuaba tó jẹ́ pastor wọn ní parish Victoria Island. I think Resurrection, no, not Resurrection, Resurrection ni ti Itwa. kí lorúkọ
No,
parish wọn ní
kí ni
vi
ti Christ Church
ibẹ̀ ni
ní ti
Professor
Itua.
Abuaba kì í ṣe pastor. Bàbá yẹn náà at 80 something he stepped down nígbà táwọn Itua náà láti step down but nǹkan tó wá ká Itua náà lára ní pé ládùúgbò gbogbo iṣẹ́ tá a ṣe ń bí ẹ̀ máa irú nǹkan báyìí òun náà dẹ̀ rọra find the way ó lọ set up nǹkan ti tiẹ̀. So that one is even different from even tàwọn Pastor ID yìí. Pastor ID ìyàwó ẹ̀ pé 60 ó ṣe party.
Party yẹn náà wà sensitive at that time. She committed an error. We are talking of 3 people in a family, a member of your church.
Yes.
But what I want to believe is that if they were ordinary people, they will not do anything. If those people were ordinary people.
Mi ò sọ wípé it was right. I am not saying so. But nǹkan kan tó máa ń kọ́ sí mi ni pé bí Ṣíjú, Pastor ID àti màmá àti bàbá Adébóyè ṣe close to. Tí wọ́n bá sọ fún pé kó má ṣe party yẹn ṣe èrò kó má ṣe.
But you are talking about a rich man. Ó ṣe party kọ́ lọ́rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí. I want to believe if the party.
Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ká come to náà nìyẹn pé sábàbí ni party yìí it was not the issue.
It was like it's deeper than you and I.
Planning how to get this church.
And
they now fell into that.
It is deeper than me and you.
That trap.
It is deeper than you and me. I be me and you, Denny. It's deeper. Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn is deeper than you and me.
Ojú Ọlọ́run tó gbogbo.
Ṣẹ́gun, thank you ma for shedding light.
Nǹkan tó ká mi lára tí mo fi phone yìí pé we needed to set some and some people need to speak about these people kí àwọn èèyàn mọ iṣẹ́ dáadáa tí wọ́n ṣe and not judge a book by the cover.
Now, Auntie, you are talking about iṣẹ́ ẹni sùúrù, Auntie. Can you please just hold on níbi tẹ́ dé yìí? You are talking about iṣẹ́ dáadáa tó ń ṣe. Ṣé mọ̀ pé ọ̀dọ̀ tiwọn ni lẹ́tà tèmi náà ti wá? Hello?
Ọ̀dọ̀ tiwọn as well.
They were our provincial pastors. They were our provincial pastor when I was sent away. So what are you saying? They never cared.
What year did your husband pass that you got your letter?
2005. Okay, it was not yet the pastor then. It was not the pastor.
It was not.
Yes, it was ESCOM. It was ESCOM.
It was not him. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't him.
Yeah, it was not him. Yeah. Thank you for correcting that.
But then again, ṣé mọ̀ wípé tó bá tiẹ̀ jẹ́ òun ni ṣé mọ̀ pé they are all men under authority.
Authority
ṣẹlẹ̀ sí yín under Pastor ID. I know many widows. Sherry, even being pé escort ẹ̀yin sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lẹ́ni ọmọ jẹ́jẹ́ ni kinní kan gbogbo ẹ̀, you know. Ìgbà tí ayé tí bí pé jẹ ní abẹ́ Pastor ID àti Pastor Ṣíjú ìgbà tọ́kọ ẹ̀ wà láyé kò jẹ́rú ayé bẹ́ẹ̀.
Oh, that's good.
Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ̀ pé wọ́n kọ́lé fún ní pòlì?
No, I don't. That's good to know. That's good. I've been wondering pé mi ò mọ bí tán wà. I don't know anything about her.
Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ tó lọ school nílùú òyìnbó wọ́n sanwó school àwọn ọmọ nílùú òyìnbó náà.
Who was playing it?
Àìmọye èèyàn tó jẹ́ wípé wọn ti ẹ̀jẹ̀ ní bọ́dì tí wọ́n pásítọ̀ Ìdòwú Iluyomade àti ìyàwó ẹ̀ tá à ń sọ yìí nǹkan kan tó ẹ̀ ń dí àwọn sí èmi ni pé wọ́n ní ojú àánú kò sí ẹni tó sunkún lọ sọ́dọ̀ wọn tó padà jáde láì nu ẹkún ojú ẹ̀ kúrò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni èmi tí mò ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ ìwí dò ní mí. Wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀mi sanwó school o but every time ni pastor mama bí mi pé ṣé mo wà all right. Are you sure? Because of that, èmi náà fi ṣe pastor in charge of widows and single parents. Any widow tó bá wà ní church has to register with me. Pastor Idowu Iluyomade ló set up that department called Abyss Club. Abyss Club. Èmi ni pastor in charge of Abyss Club. Anybody that is a widow or a single parent comes to me. We pay school fees. We rent houses, we pay their house rent, we get jobs for them, we empower them with business that they will do.
Thank you.
We look after the children.
Thank you for shedding light so that we can move ahead. We can move on.
Pastor gbọ́dọ̀ rí èèyàn kankan tí ó go through problem.
But if that was the case, why did they have a party after losing 3 members of their church same day?
Ìyẹn ni mo ṣe ń sọ fún yín wípé
that was very insensitive. No.
Ẹ tún wá jẹ́ kí n tún fún yín ní background to that party again. Herbert and his family died on the 10th of February. Shiju Iluyomade's birthday is 8th of January. She had picked the 11th of February as the day she would have a party.
Okay.
But all of a sudden,
sure.
Herbert died with his family on the 10th.
Yes, I'm going.
Before they are dead, before anything, last week, Shiju ti party lo ti pick 11th of February. And she now said at one of the meetings that we had, Emi Ọlọ́run kan sọ fún pé kò ń change date yẹn.
Okay.
Adẹ̀ni pé date wo ló fẹ́ mú. Ó dẹ̀ lóun máa change ẹ̀ sí. Was it now 11th to 17th or 18th of February, which was a week or so after that 11th. So if it had been the original party that she wanted to have, it would have been ìjọ tí gbogbo Nàìjíríà jí láti gbọ́ announcement wípé Herbert kú, that would have been the day of the party. But God knows why he ministered to her to change the date.
So are you saying she has changed the date before the incident?
She had changed the date.
Okay. So how many weeks? Like 3 weeks after?
She had changed the date.
Okay.
The original date would have been 11th of February.
Okay.
Which would have been the date for Herbert Fuwani Church. Níjọ́ tí pastor gun pulpit tó tún for Herbert Fuwani Church tó ń sun ẹkún bí ọmọ kékeré lórí pulpit. That was the day tó yẹ kán ṣe party yẹn.
Okay.
But she had changed it.
So when the incident now happened. So
that's why I'm now saying.
Auntie, when the incident now happened, why didn't she cancel the party totally?
That is why I am saying that I cannot talk about that. That is an error. It's inexcusable, but I cannot talk about it. But what was agreed was that can't scale it down.
It's not scaling down. Cancel totally. 3 people. Father, mother, and 1 son.
Ani auntie, nǹkan tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn, kò sí anybody tó lè controverse ẹ̀. Òdodo ọ̀rọ̀ ni. Ìyẹn mo ṣe sọ pé Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kí èèyàn jí sí kòtò tí wọ́n ti gbẹ́ sílẹ̀ fún.
Kò jí sí kòtò, wọ́n ṣe nǹkan tán fẹ́ ṣe ni. They did what they wanted to do.
I will not speak about that because I don't know what is in her mind. Ó ní mò ń sọ fún yín, èmi fúnra mi lẹ́yìn tí gbogbo kinní yìí ṣẹlẹ̀. Mo lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run wípé Olúwa, tí ó bá jẹ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mi, ẹ dáríjì mi. Should I have told these people we pay cancel party or because postpone? Because the onus is on all of us to tell someone we pay nǹkan tá fẹ́ ṣe yìí ẹ jẹ́ a cancel le o.
But Manti, how come you know the information about other things and this party thing you don't want to talk about it?
Ṣé kéèyàn máa sọ̀rọ̀ ṣé ọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ni gbogbo wa padà lọ lọ́jọ́ kẹyìn tá bá kú.
Lọ bí kan bá kú
àti. Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nǹkan burúkú ni àjálù burúkú ni fún family yẹn. And continuation of that party, even after that, èmi fúnra mi, mo tọrọ àforíjì lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé, should I have spoken up wípé, ẹ má jẹ́ ká ṣe party. Bó ṣe rí ibi tí gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ náà ṣe wá yé mi tó ni pé, àti gbogbo àwọn ará camp gbogbo wọn náà máa wá sí party yìí o.
Ará camp náà wà ńbẹ̀.
Gbogbo wa la wà ńbẹ̀. Gbogbo wa pátá la wà ńbẹ̀, the only person tí ò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni màmá àti bàbá o.
Ṣẹ́yìn náà lọ party, were you there?
Mo wà ńbẹ̀ o.
Okay.
Gbogbo wa pátápátá la wà ńbẹ̀. Ọlọ́run kó dáríjì gbogbo wa. Ibi tá ti ṣe yẹn mo mọ̀ yẹn pé why tèmi náà tiẹ̀ káṣẹ̀ ni mo ti sọ pé ẹ jẹ́ ká cancel party yìí, ẹ jẹ́ ká postpone party. Bó ṣe rí nǹkan kan tèmi kàn mọ̀ nípa orí tí Ṣíjú mú wáyé wípé kò sí nǹkan kan tó mọ̀ ṣe lójú àwọn èèyàn. Tí ó bá ṣe party yẹn wọ́n yí after tí a bá ti kú, èébú tán bu yẹn náà yìí máa kú.
No, that's a lie, man. No, I'm not going to agree. Nobody will talk if she postpone it.
Ẹ lè sọ pé that's a lie. That is your own opinion.
Even if it's 6 months, nobody will talk.
Had always been judged.
She did that party 3 weeks before.
Had always been judged by the people because of her appearance. They have always judged her by appearance.
If you watch my video, I talk to people. I say, Shiju is not pretending. She's just herself. That is the way she has been from the onset. And Redeem embrace her that way.
You know she stopped.
They never complain. Why are they complaining now?
She stopped pretending. I know that. But she had always been under the microscope of the people judging her. Because how can a pastor's wife dress like this? How can she wear makeup? Her makeup is too much. Her wig is too much. So, that's why it's too flashy.
Hold on, ma. Yes, ma. Time. Almost 1 hour. Let me see.
Yeah, it is okay.
It take over. 1 hour.
It is
took
okay.
over totally.
But I thank God for the opportunity.
Yes,
to
I'm glad you shed light too. Yes. At least people are able to see that what Aduni is saying is making sense. Indirectly, you backed up what I've been saying. Unconsciously, you back up what I've been saying. Even while you are trying to clear and clear.
Exactly. Especially Teni Baba is rubbing salt. How can Baba go to City of David and not give Idowu Iluyomade his flowers?
His flowers. Share video. Is it this video you are talking of? Is it this video?
Yes.
This one?
Yes. Okay,
that is why you are upset. That yellow being
yes.
Okay.
I am not really upset, really. I'm not really upset.
He didn't give them the flower.
And also because of a little bit of misinformation here and there to let you know the real story behind the thing. So you know, so Esco Lube Church, Idowu ló parí ẹ̀, kìíní kan, Esco ní nǹkan kan nínú church yẹn rárá. Èyí tó kọ́ ní old building tí wọ́n wà.
Maybe Baba has forgotten how that place started. All Baba is concerned is that they are not owing money anymore. They are done paying.
Maybe
Baba does not even remember they exist as it is. Their chapter is closed.
Yeah.
Then there is nothing that has beginning that does not have end. When they were doing it for others,
we were just tenants.
You know, they were not the first to go through it.
We did not even come to dedicate even this sanctuary. We didn't dedicate anything. What they gbé sorry helicopter, sọ̀kalẹ̀ sórí roof church.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Wọ́n sọ̀kalẹ̀ sórí helicopter níjọ́ yẹn tí gbogbo èèyàn kúnlẹ̀ tán rá bàbà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Nígbà tí Ìdòwú
bẹ̀rẹ̀ fundraising fún church yẹn, bàbá gan pẹ̀lú àwọn tán kọ́kọ́ bá wa dáwó, wọ́n dá 10 million.
Àwọn dẹ̀ try you.
Àwọn náà dá 10 million gbà yẹn. Àwọn ṣe ní dá 10 million. Àwọn Papa family ń tọ́jú bàbá. Ṣùgbọ́n náà náà fẹnu ara wọn sọ lé nìyẹn. Gbogbo àwọn chọ́ọ̀chì Amẹ́ríkà yẹn ti gbẹ́ lọ́lùbà. Papa family náà ni wọ́n nà. Wọ́n tọ́jú bàbá dáadáa.
So Baba forgot to give them their flowers.
Wọ́n dẹ̀ fi gbogbo ara ṣiṣẹ́ fún wọn. Ọba rọ́jú kí Ìdòwú pé kó pé 70 kó dẹ̀ retire. That would have been the best.
Okay, and he's almost 70. He's almost 70. He should be like 65, 66, Abi.
He's 65 this year.
I'm all right in Bayen. 65 going to 70. Okay, they will have just given him 5 years more and let him retire. Proudly.
70 will retire now.
Like
Benny,
like what happened in the Winners. They shouldn't have just retired them just like that. You know? I mean, they shouldn't have sent. No, I won't send the one away, but kind of, won't send the one away, no. Oh, Lagbara. Let's see if every other person. Thank you so much, ma. Oh,